Yo, what's up? What's good? What's good? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. We are back. We are live. Assembly of Excellence. Good to be with you folks again. We got a lot to talk about. Shout out to everyone that's watching from Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are. I thank you for taking a few minutes out of your evening, your morning to hang out, to sit, to, you know, tap in, to hear my thoughts. I'm just cutting up. Um, yeah, we got some things to cover, but let me give my flowers out real quick. Shout out to Ian Williams. Shout out to Air Bear. Shout out to Anna Hayes. Shout out to the other Anna. Shout out to everyone that's pretty much stepped on this stage, performed, been a part of the panel, sharing their wisdom, talking to these younger folks, man, who don't know what they talking about. Shout out to my poets, my content creators. Shout out to everyone that is out here chasing and pursuing a dream. They're not letting life stop them and slow them down. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to allow distractions to, you know, how many times have we been there before, right? And we gonna cut up. I really got something that I want to get off my chest because I have a real gripe with people who use others to fulfill a hole inside of them that they're too lazy to repair or figure out for themselves. July 12th, July 12th, 2024 is a Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Pens and Soul Awards will go down. Poets, writers, painters, you name it. If this is something that you do, you are invited to come out. If you are interested in just looking and checking out the talent that comes up here, you're more than welcome to come out. This is going to be a good time. It's the first one. I wanted to find a way to express my gratitude to everyone that's been showing love to me. And what a better way to do it than to hold a show where we could all hang out, have a good time, and just, kick back and relax. So July 12th, um, I was supposed to drop episode of Cryptic Creed. I have to take a hold on that one until I can make further arrangements, but it will be back. I promise. I've had some things slow me down a little bit, but I'm gonna get back to where I was. But today, I wanted to talk to you guys about trauma dumping. What is trauma dumping? Why do people trauma dump? Is it a negative thing? Is it a positive thing? How can we find ways to overcome it if we do? How can we deal with people who utilize it. So first, salutes everybody watching. Um, when I was really hitting my stride, shout out to Jason. Maybe 16, 17 years old. And I was dealing with various females. You really didn't have the mind that you do now. All I was really thinking about was the quickest way to get what I wanted out of those situations. When you young minded like that, you don't have too much empathy for the other person. You know right from wrong, but you really don't care too much about who you affect to a certain degree. I'm only speaking on specific type or specific group. Some have their head on their shoulders more than others. A lot of us are just rambunctious and we just do whatever the hell we want. And back then, if I had stuff going on, what I would do if I was really not trying to entertain you too much, I would kind of over talk you. I would over express or overshare my burdens and my issues, and I wouldn't really listen to nothing you had to say. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. I didn't really think it was that important to, and selfish as I was, later on, I found out the hard way how that really affects a person. When a person is trauma dumping, these are the type of people who have a history of going through making bad decisions over bad decisions over bad decisions, dating, not confronting issues, avoiding them, taking habits of ex partners, following the footsteps of your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and brothers and sisters. You accumulate all of these bad attributes over years of being mistreated, misunderstood, not heard. You're treated like you're not important. You're treated like you don't matter. And a it's an internal type of disease to me where it eats at you over years and years of not being able to really express yourself. You go your entire life having to find other ways to get rid of frustration, anger, um, self-esteem issues, so on and so forth. You bottle it up, and it always ends up coming out in the most ugliest of ways. Trauma dumping means a part of you has a lifestyle that is conflicted with another side of you that is never ever able to be expressed or truly showcase itself for what it really is. So if you're a person who really is bubbly, you're not as introverted as people think you are, but you've been damaged by people, you've been damaging yourself, you never got help, no one's talked to you, you've never had that spiritual connection with God to the degree to where you could cleanse yourself of all of the miry clay that's built up inside of you. You're pretty much battling between two sides of you, but the one that always seems to come out on the other end of it is the one where, after years and years of being tormented, being lied to, being manipulated, being manipulative, being the one who has picked up all of these bad habits because of who you chose to associate yourself with, affiliate yourself with, lay down with, connect with, talk to, counsel with, fellowship with. You pick up on these people's habits and you become them. You don't go all of these years, never get counseling, never see a psychiatrist. You don't have a church home. Maybe you have one and you don't really utilize them. You don't pray. Maybe you pray, maybe you don't pray enough. Whatever the case is, you're not utilizing the tools that you should be using in order to get the help and the healing that you should get. And what happens is all of the things that you've internalized from dealing with different people and being in different environments, it takes over you. It takes over who you are as a person. It basically is in the driver's seat for a very long time. And what happens is the people that you connect with moving forward, they become a victim of your bad habits, of your bad characteristics. They might not even necessarily be yours, but you pick them up along the way. And all of this time, you never got healing, you never got help. All of that resentment, all of that eternal stuff that's inside of you that is saying you're wrong, you should have held yourself accountable, you should have did this, you should have said this, you should have spoke up, you shouldn't have been so quiet, you should have took the initiative, you should have, and you didn't. Years and years and years of you crying over somebody, being upset over somebody, never telling them, the kick rocks, never stepping away from the toxic people, never listening to your gut feeling, your gut instinct, never acknowledging your intuition, the spiritual man that is inside of you constantly whispering, saying you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, go left, don't go right. You ignore it. You allow your family to control you, manipulate you, hurt you. Things happen in the household that you can't get out of you, that carried over into your adult life. You just never we tend to never really get the help that we should get to really realign with who we are individually as people. To be completely honest, we turn into versions of ourselves that, if your childhood version would see, or could put it this way, if your childhood version of you could stand in front of you and sit down and talk to the version of you now, would they get along? They probably wouldn't. You would probably hurt over seeing yourself like that. But what happened, and this is for a lot of people, including myself, you start bringing in folks, bringing them in, talking to them on the phone, calling them your friend. You might find them attractive. You might think that, they might be temporary, whatever. All of that stuff that you held inside of you, it comes out. And it comes out in a way where it's pretty selfish. It's pretty selfish, right? Because you make it about you. No one's saying that there's a issue with expressing yourself if you need help, if you need guidance, if you need leadership, if you need prayer, if you require an extra hand or extra ear. Nothing is wrong with trying to come to some type of solution to fix whatever is broken. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is selfish about it is when a person is trauma dumping, they usually pour all of their heaviness on innocent bystanders, on people that they look at as weak or they look at as someone of some type of significance that can benefit them. So let me give you an example. When you cut yourself and you start bleeding, what's the first thing you do? You gotta clean the wound. You gotta pour peroxide alcohol. You have to make sure that you clean that. You don't want nothing to why? You don't want nothing to get into your bloodstream. You don't want to get it infected. But what a person is trauma dumping, usually they're looking for a solution without a solution. They want help, but they don't want it from you. You weren't the problem. You're the punching bag. You're the representation of all the unanswered, unsolved questions. You're the representation of all the men and all the women that changed their life. You represent who they wanted. You represent who they respected. You represent who they cared for and loved and admired and admonished. But because they could never understand or figure out that what they have done is become exactly the prototype of what left them behind or what they had to walk away from or what God removed them from. See, when God removes you from something, it's usually because there's a season, because you have a purpose that you've been running away from, because there's dangers, there's hazards, there's things there that is causing you nothing more than misery, pain, humiliation, hurt. It is a stumbling block from getting you to wake up and discover just exactly who you are as a person. When a person is typically in a season with a person who is always doing them dirty and treating them like crap, and God is showing you everything about them, but you continuously ignore the signs. You just want to continue to engage them and deal with them and accept them for all their bad habits and stuff like that. God will allow you to continue to deal with them people because you know that they ain't right for you, but you'll still deal with them. And he'll let you take on that pain. He'll let you suffer until you get tired of it. And once it gets to a point that either where you ask him to remove them people, or something tragic has to happen before they are taken from you. You have to get your heart broken before you decide to finally give up. You got to be constantly in a repeated cycle. The bottom line is the people who are victims of folks who trauma dump are usually the ones that had absolutely nothing to do with why you are feeling the way you are. The people who are being trauma dumped on are the ones who came into your life with all of the best intentions possible. They smiled, they gave you time, they gave you affection, they gave you attention. But typically, if a person is dumping all that mess on you, it's usually because they don't really respect you. They don't like you or see you in the way that you are looking at them. There's a lot of one-sided friendships, a lot of one-sided relationships I've noticed in a lot of our communities where people will be thinking that these folks are really your friends and they really got your best interests at heart. And the whole time there's different levels to devils and different reasons why a person will stay in your orbit. With people who trauma dump, they only keep certain people there because all right, look at it this way. You blowing up a balloon. You just keep on putting air in there. But there's only but so much before that balloon pops. It can only get so big before it explodes. People that have all of that eternal stuff going on inside of them, it's a spirit, it's like a mental spiritual torment. It's very daunting, it's very heavy, it's very unsettling. You can't get any type of peace. It ruins your personality, it changes who you are, how you interact with people, what you attract, what you want to be around. It makes you a very unsavory type of a person. It really does. And people who have all of these unresolved issues inside of them, they take all of that. This represents all of the anger, all of the hurt, all of the bitterness, all of the hatred, all of the unsolved healing, all of it. This is all of it right here. This is you. So all of that, all of these years, 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, the person broke their heart, cheated on them. And the person told them they were the most beautiful person in the world, and then they found somebody that looked better than them, or they found somebody that could offer them something else that they couldn't offer them. Somebody, whatever the scenario is, they just added on damage to them, family members included. Now you come into the picture and you don't know nothing about any of that stuff. But what ends up happening is they start to dump and dump and dump and dump and dump. And why I say it's selfish because they only come to you, they only want to be around you when it allows them to get that stuff off their chest. The only time they want to deal with you or talk to you is when you're just this person. You don't talk. They all the entire conversation. They have absolutely no words for you whatsoever. And you know you're dealing with someone who trauma dumps when every time you get on the phone with them, an hour goes by. You've only said maybe 5, 10 words out the entire conversation. And when it's all said and done, they ready to get off the phone. They they always hit you with the now I feel better. Yeah, you feel better, but now I feel like shit. You just came to me with all of this. Now when I get off the phone, I'm left with an hour worth of you complaining and talking about this, that, and the third. And where does that leave the exchange? See, trauma dumping is another form of energy exchange, spiritual exchange. Everything that's coming out of a person's mouth like that, they are trying to release and get rid of demons that they've held on to for who knows how long, and they're transferring it to you. That's why I say it's selfish. Because if I know I have all of this stuff going on, I would think that the right course of action would to be to pray about it, to read, to talk to somebody in a local church, have a church family where I can connect with them and fellowship and do it in a see here. This is my thing. Do it correct. Do it in a healthy way that doesn't affect people. That it doesn't screw up their day, or it doesn't affect them it's just you get off the phone scot free, and now I'm left with all of this weight. What the hell do you want me to do with this shit? I don't want this. I mean, granted, I'm look, I'm here to be a friend, whatever it is at that time. I'm here for that. But if it gets to the point to where we're not doing this, that's the problem. That's the problem. And why is it a issue? Right? Why is trauma dumping an issue? Well, for starters, a person who trauma dumps, they don't have the empathy to care about what it does or how it affects another person. they're picking and choosing when it's convenient to be a friend, when it's convenient to be supportive. The only thing that they care about, the only thing that they ever seem to be able to wrap their mind around is figuring out a way to get rid of the heartache, the spiritual void, the mental gymnastics, to get rid of the voices, to get the pressure and the release off of them. That's all they thinking about. Anyone who stands in the way of that, you're in for it. You really got to be aware of folks who trauma dump. I think that people who trauma dump pick up this form of neuroticism and narcissistic traits because I'm looking at some of the characteristics that go along with it, and a person who only wants to be in your is when it helps them feel better, but they can't offer back in return anything. That's a huge red flag to me. A huge red flag to me. And I would question the friendship. I would really have a sit down. I would put them in environments where we find out truly what we have, who are they, do our paths align, are they worth investing in anymore, and how should I proceed moving forward? See, what you really don't want to do is continue to give your time, your energy to folks who don't really want to be there for the right reason. If the person knows what's going on and they're trying to change, that's one thing. If you say to them, look, man, all of this is like it's a lot. I care about you and this and the third, but I'm looking and it's feeling lopsided. It's feeling like I'm giving more than I'm getting back. And I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but I got things going on too, and it doesn't really seem like we are we how do you feel about what I just said? Do you think I'm right? How do you feel about how I'm expressing myself to you? Because I'm coming to you respectfully. I think and feel and believe that we've built enough of a rapport where I can tell you this. Find out. Let's see how they really respond to you and your questions and putting them on the spot. Let me know. I want to know if what we doing here is for a season or it was just a lesson that was supposed to be here. Maybe it's something that I needed to figure out for myself. Maybe you were sent to me to teach me something. Maybe it was vice versa. Who knows? There's always a blessing within the lesson. So if the response isn't in accordance to the level of respect you gave them, let's say you picked a pretty chill, relaxed spot to go hang out, and the conversation just came up. Maybe you did it through text, maybe you was on the phone, but you articulated yourself respectfully. Everything was just pretty chill. The vibe was just there. It wasn't nuts or crazy. You just, this is where I'm at, this is how I'm feeling, what's up? And their response isn't equal to the energy that you given back, and they come to you with ad hominems trying to personally attack you or make you second guess how you feel, that shows me you have no remorse or accountability for who you are currently. So this is what we have here. You're on the course or the path where you want real friendships. You want real bonds, real connections. You don't want people lying to you, stealing from you. People that you can console and counsel. This person wants the same things, but they're too damaged. And they refuse to acknowledge the facts that they are way too damaged. They might not even know how damaged they are. But you're healthy. You're in a good space in your life. They aren't. And now you are face to face with this person, and you have to make a decision. Is that the guy that's supposed to be my best friend or my husband or whatever? Do they have everything inside of them that balances me out? Are they equally yoked? If we get into any type of confrontation, are we going to be able to walk away from it and come back? Or is it going to be an explosion? Can I talk to them without them disrespecting me for expressing myself? Or is it going to be them lashing out? A damaged person will always lash out. A damaged person will always trauma dump. A damaged person will never know how to be a real friend. A damaged person can never love somebody. A damaged person can never tell the truth. A damaged person can never be on top of somebody. A damaged person could never lead somebody. A damaged person could never, ever align with someone who is healed or is not contrite in spirit. A damaged person will always be the detriment to their own demise. Damaged people sabotage themselves and they disrespect everyone around them, the good and the indifferent. Most of the time, the damaged people treat the damaged people better than they treat the good people. Trauma dumpers always, well, let me rephrase that. Trauma dumpers go along with the cheaters and the liars and the manipulators and the control freaks and the people that be on power trips. They only give love and respect. Don't quote me on that. I'm sarcastic. They only equal love and equal respect to those that are equally fucked up as them. You're never going to see, and well, I say this: you ever seen someone damaged try to do right by someone who's not damaged? You get bits and pieces of the good in them, but because they're damaged and they really don't understand the science and the spiritual mechanics behind really truly reshaping how they think and see and perceive stuff, they will always inevitably screw themselves over because they don't know themselves. They don't understand that they are carrying people, they're carrying things and items and certain environments with them that is going to eventually run people off over and over and over and over again. So I don't really care how woke you say you are. I don't care how intellectually enlightened you think you are. If you damaged, if you had somebody that fucked you over or did you dirty or whatever the case may be, if you grew up in a certain way and you never unlearned that habit, never unlearned what your mom told you and what your dad told you, because people do raise kids horribly sometimes. Everyone is not like exceptionally bringing children into this adult life the way that we are supposed to be conducting ourselves. If anyone says that, it's complete crap. Trauma dumpers, they want to be healed. They want to be free. They're tired of being haunted, tortured. Trauma dumpers are ego driven. There's this echo chamber of creating your own version of what you thought was supposed to be what this is, and it was all a fallacy, all of it. None of it is really who you are or what you were supposed to be. You've adopted it and you've accepted it, and you don't want to change it because you don't think you need to change it. Even when you have a good person trying to convince you to change it or trying to be there. There's folks that know exactly what's going on with you and they'll stick around for a little bit until it's too much. And they'll let you go. They'll let you go figure it out for yourself. That's real spill. It's one of the reasons why I say pray. Who knows you better than God? I said this before. Humans are fickle, flighty. Our emotions jump. We change with the wind. You get what you get right then and there. Tomorrow might not be the same thing. And look, I get it. It sucks. We grew up a certain way. It wasn't really the most fun. It wasn't the most pleasant lifestyle, you know. But that doesn't give you the right to treat people a certain type of way because of your inability to realize that you need freedom, you need release, you need help, you need guidance. A damaged person is the last person I started to say that. Hold on. I started to say something. A damaged person is only good at being an example of what not to do, what happens when you are that type of a person. So if you're a damaged person, you're probably going to be foolish. You're probably going to step on landmines constantly. You're probably going to be the type of person who listens to the wrong people every single time. The one that kisses your ass, the one who lies to you, the one that flirts with you, the one who has the position and the power. Damaged people always tend to listen or gravitate towards people who are doing dirt and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? The reason I know that is because I've seen it, and all it gets you is the same circle of associates. You want different, you want better, you really want a healthier mindset, a healthier spirit, a healthier foundation, a stronger structure, a straighter path. Then it starts with you. People who trauma dump, they have to have people constantly around them. They constantly have to have acceptance. They constantly have to get something off their chest. They're never satisfied. People who are traumatized or have went through stuff, they're never ever satisfied because they never released what they kept in. The stuff that you holding on to, all that stuff that you're holding on to, that's what you're going to always revolve your life around. And it's always going to manifest itself not in the person that you laid down with 10 years ago, not with the person you used to drink and smoke with, but it's going to always manifest itself somehow, some way with a person or through your personality. Because let me tell you something. trauma dumpers, you 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 aren't as um knowledgeable as you like to think you are. That's another thing that I've noticed about people who are trauma dumpers. I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that, and I know what I'm talking about. You ain't gotta tell me. I already know this, and you ain't gotta tell me this, and you ain't gotta tell me that. I already know that. I did it. I've been there. I was that person. I did that, and then I did that. And that. You're selfish. You're still making it about you. So here we are. I'm trying, to shed some light on you, but I can't even get my words out before you cutting me off. And you just have to make a point. Is it really? Trauma dumpers are horrible listeners, horrible communicators, which is ironic because trauma dumpers they want to get rid of the stuff that they got hold on inside of them. They want to get rid of it, but then again, I don't think they really want to get rid of it. And the reason why I don't think they want to get rid of it is because a part of their flesh, I ain't gonna say a part of their flesh, is still attached to what that feeling was. And until you remove your flesh from how you view things, yeah, I feel sorry for you. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. I have a question. What does trauma dumping look like to you? What does it represent to you? There's many ways to see it. It's not just someone overly talking, blah, 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 which is one of the main ones. But it's just how a person shows interest. How much do they really invest in you with no obligation, without feeling like they owe you something? How often are these type of people really just saying, "Hey, man, I was just thinking about you. I wanted to buy you lunch. How's your sister? How's your whatever?" How often does that happen? Or are you the one that's going out of your way over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, trying to make sure that these people feel secure in themselves? That's really where I'm going with the whole thing. A person who trauma dumps, they don't necessarily want your help all the time. A lot of the times you get involved with them type of people, all they really want you to do is take the pressure off of them, even if it's temporary. For some odd reason, they get some type of rush or some type of high off of pain. I'll never understand it. And it's not even attached to a physical being. It's that up and downer that they are driven to. If I'm wrong, tell me. Let me know. But I've been on the receiving end of it. Phone calls at all hours of the night about some stuff that's going on with you. And then once you finish going on your rant, now you got to get off the phone. You tired. Your phone dying. But you just spent a whole 2 hours. Yes, trauma dumping. You just spent a whole 2 hours crying, talking about nobody love you, everybody hates you. There's a issue here with men and women. I can't seem to pick the right people. This, that, and the third, and the other person is just listening to you, and they're like, "Yeah, well, if you did you do this or did you think about?" No, no, no. See, you're not listening. I said this and that. Yes, exactly, 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 bro. They they want you to feel up on too. When you are listening to someone give a story about something that happened, I always ask myself, huh, so what part did you play in all this? Because people always give one side or one version of a story. They don't never give the whole thing. They paint the other, they paint a version of a scenario to benefit or fit them, so you can pander to their feelings and this, that, and the third. And I am just like, man, something ain't adding up here. That's why I don't like to gossip. I don't like listening to people gossip. I have no interest in it. Don't tell me about nothing someone said or did. Don't do that. Because I'm gonna look at you like, all right, what's really going on here? What's up? And a person who likes to trauma dump, they really just want to feel good. They want to feel better about something that happened or something that they just never found a way to heal from, or they don't have the wherewithal to fix the problem that they internalized. So they just linger with it and hold on to it like it's a trophy, and it becomes a part of them, and it becomes a part of them in such a way that they don't even realize how much it's actually transformed them. There's always two sides. Oh my God, my experience in investigation. There's always two sides. Always. Never go off of what one person says. I can't stand that, because it's almost like you don't even know the person. Anna, hello, hello, hello. You don't even know the person. Sometimes you don't even know who they talking about. You just know them, and because they talking to you about them, you're supposed to just automatically take a person's side. I'm not. I don't want nobody's side. Don't do that to me. Don't at all. Because I'm gonna tell you, what did you do? What did you say? I know you. You ain't as innocent as you would like to believe. No, you're not. It just got to the point to where I'll just listen and look like, yeah, all right, yeah. I don't even want to be on the the phone with people like that anymore. To be honest with you, I'd rather just be to myself. Just don't dismiss me with it all completely. Don't share nothing with me because I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to trust you. And then you're really just going to screw my day up. Nah, I'm good on that. You can keep that. Please just leave it where it is. Don't share nothing with me at all. You know what's funny about a person who trauma dumps too? And this is how I know it's hilarious, man, sometimes, man. Because people really be thinking you stupid. People who trauma dump, they know who they can dump on. They know where they can take all of that heaviness. They know exactly where they can leave it. They got it up here in their mind. Who can I call for this? Who can I text message? Who can I go visit for this? Who can I ask to do this? They already automatically know. It's not like they just out of the blue. No, them people stop feeling sorry for them. They're not slow. They're not stupid. They think you're stupid. If anything, they think you're stupid because you keep picking up the phone. You keep entertaining it. Once you, like I said earlier in the stream, go ahead and have a conversation with them. Talk to them. Sit down with them. Let them know how you feel. See what they say, how they respond. Watch their body language. See if they meet you on the same even playing field. That'll give you everything you need to know. Most of the people that we deal with, they're only there for a certain season. I find women do this more than men. Men do it as well. And I find that when people listen to the dump, think they are helping, but they are actually sacrificing their respect. That is an absolute fact. I am guilty. I am guilty. Once I removed myself, once I decided that my time was valuable, that we're not going to just be sitting here doing this and I'm not getting anything back, you see real quick who's with you and who really wasn't. Now, it's sad. I agree, men do it. I am not around that much, but when you said that, I was like, yeah, I know somebody who kind of be, yeah, little, yeah, yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, bro. I don't. Huge red flag. Think a person who trauma dumps trauma dumps should be trying to deal with anyone. And the only reason I think a person who is a victim of it is a victim of it because they choose to be a victim of it. People who are trauma dumpers choose to be trauma victims of it. That's my opinion. You might think that I'm a little far off with that, but go back to what I said earlier in the live stream, right? With trauma dumpers, they accumulate years of crap that they never resolved, whether it was through family issues or it was through things they experienced outside of the home. They didn't fix it. They never did anything about it. It changed them. It changed them in a bad way, and it carried over into their teens, and it carried over into their adult life. That's why a lot of adults still act like they're in high school. And I want to say, like, for the people, and I had to get this in my head, for the people who feel as though they're failing a person when they remove themselves from their problems, you didn't fail them. It's not your fault, not your issue. Don't feel bad that you couldn't. There's only but so much a person can do before you have to go ahead and do what's best for you. So that narrative that people be trying to spin, like you don't care, you don't love them, you don't respect them, you don't listen to them, blah. You know the retorts, the attacks that they try to use to manipulate you into continuing to take their BS. Nah. If the person, and this another point I made too, if the person, if there's two people, you're healed, you did the work, you did everything that you needed to do to get out of whatever it was. So you recognize it in the person and you're trying to help them, but they only give you bits and pieces of what a normal version of them looks like, but they can't maintain it for a long period of time. So what happens is you might get them being honest and loving and kind for a week. Next week they right back to the same shit they were doing before. You can't help that. And it's not for you to help it. You can only do but so much. And it sucks. It sucks to be on that side of the fence. It does, because you spend so much time trying to be whatever you are to these people, and sometimes it just doesn't pan out how you want it to. It just doesn't, and it probably never was meant to. That's I think you would be much happier once you understood, right? Um, so let me give a quick recap. I'm talking about trauma dumping. T. Uh, that's why dating and getting to know people is so important. Figure out if you know what I'm saying. Why are people so lazy? What like it's almost cringe to me now. Is it really that difficult? I do not know what it looks like now. To be honest with you, Sarah, dating could be going to fucking Istanbul or fucking Bermuda or something. Dating right now could be renting out a mansion and having dinner at the White House. Dating right now could be, I don't know, renting out a yacht and going up and down the fucking Mississippi River for like 4 hours, and you invite all your family and friends, and you know, people's versions of it in 2024 is crazy to me, man. It does not. I don't remember it looking ever remotely similar to how I grew up. The things that I think is dating now, people would scoff at. Light and love. Hold up. It's totally different when we move past the victim role and try to help each other build quality lives. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Some of these people, man, I think they're so addicted to being what they are that they don't know anything else, and it scares a lot of people. It really terrifies folks to change and try to be something outside of what they are accustomed to being. And that takes time, it takes effort, it takes willpower. You have to want to do it. And it just doesn't happen overnight. That's why I'm just like, don't even be bothered with no one. Just stay away from people if that's what you're doing. Just don't even entertain people, because a damaged person can never work out with someone who is healed. It's just not going to happen. It's not. It's only going to last but so long, because there's things about you that's always going to come up. There's always going to be a problem. You can sugarcoat it, you can sweep it under the rug, you can pretend like you aren't a liar, you can pretend like you don't have unhealed or unresolved issues, you can pretend like you're not still fixated over that ex, you can pretend like you are a good friend, you can pretend like you distant. Healed people know. People who have a discerning spirit know what's up. And yeah, just stay away from me. Please stay away from me. Please, please, please. Trauma dumping, oversharing traumatic or deeply personal experiences with someone, often without considering the listener's capacity or willingness to receive such information.
The sheep, you got to catch the wolf, and it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
That's a bar. That's a bar. And that is exactly what it is. They don't care. They don't. They just want to feel better for that given moment. And then the craziest shit about it is, after they done released all of that anger and hurt and whatever it is, and they feel better right then, they're gonna go right back into the fire. They always go right back into it. And then the cycle repeats over and over. And then you just sitting there like, bruh, like, come on, man. What's going on here? I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear it. Keep your circle small. Hell, I don't have a circle. You know what I'm saying? And I know why I don't have one. People are full of it. But, it is what it is. I would rather not have anyone around me than have all these different spirits coming and going, messing around with me, man. And then now I can't function and move how I need to move because you aren't even aligned with yourself. You're gonna bring all of your bull over here. I don't want that. Keep it. Please. Real talk. Yeah, man. Do me a favor, man. Hit that thumbs up if you ain't hit that thumbs up, man. I don't be on that, but yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah. But nah, it's real. If you if you've seen it or experienced it, run or have the conversation. Don't waste no more of your time with people like that if they're not really willing to do nothing about their issue. Don't spend no more of your life pouring into people who aren't trying to pour into themselves or into you for that matter. It don't make no sense. Do it. All of this energy, money, effort, all these conversations you having with these folks, man, and they still gonna be doing what they want to do anyway. Go ahead, let them do them. Stop losing sleep. Stop losing sleep over people that you cannot change. You want people who's going to pour into you, that's going to love you, that's going to hold you, console you, fellowship with you, guide you, feed you clarity, feed you knowledge. You don't want people that's constantly take. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. So stop wasting your time and stop wasting theirs. They put it this way: who going to be more hurt? Is it going to hurt you more, or is it going to hurt them more? If somebody walks away from it, who is going to be hurt more? Yeah, you're going to have a broken heart. Maybe you might feel angry or upset. Maybe you might feel something towards it, but who is it really going to affect or really bother in the long run? Who does it really hurt the most? Them. It's going to hurt them the most. And it's going to bother them and it's going to haunt them and it's going to constantly be on their brain because, quite frankly, you were the one thing that allowed them not to have to deal with what they deal with. You're their escape. You're their excuse not to resolve their problems. You're their excuse not to look in the mirror and face their sins. You're the reason, their excuse for staying in their bad behavior and not changing anything. So, in a way, you are an enabler. Like Jason said, they look for the permission. You have to give them that outlet. You don't give them the opportunity to open their mouth and you let them go ahead and soak in it. They're gonna have to, it's gonna have to go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. You fill a balloon with helium, it's not going to stay on the ground unless you tie it to something. Release the tie, it's going to float. All of that crap they got going on, it has to go somewhere. So, my final thoughts on all of this. How important are these people to you? Are they who they claim to be in your life? Are they really worth it? Do they have your best interest at heart? Are you going in the same direction? Or is it time for you to make a decision? And one has to go this way and the other one has really ask yourself that question. You know the answer. I can't tell you. I can't. Bro, trauma dumpers are the worst. But I digress, man. I do. I want to say thank you to everyone who came out. Hey, look, shout out to Ian. I did a one-on-one with that brother on Sunday, and the conversation was on values. I did a post on Threads, and the question was on values. What do you consider values? That video will be uploaded tomorrow. Um, I got another one that I'm about to drop about Russia. Russia bringing this stuff over here. How other countries are pretty much looking at us like jokes. They're laughing at us. I've been working on my editing a little bit. I've been trying, you know what I'm saying? So y'all do me a favor, man. Let me know what y'all think about those. Tomorrow's gonna be a fun live stream, man. I'm looking forward to having Jason up here. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Shout out to Light and Love, Mr. Rich. I see you. Anna, Greg, everybody, man, watching from Twitch and Twitter. I salute you. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. About to trying to close this week out strong. We got 2 more days before this weekend. Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Oh, and Evelyn's Abomination is back in production. Shout out to Anna Hayes. Shout out to Ricardo, Monty Hall, uh, Beta, Luke. That's my cast. The voice actors behind the project. So yeah, we working. I'm trying to get some things going. But that being said, you know what to do. Hit me up if you need to. You know where I'm at. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evenings and whatnot. This is a similar excellence saying good night.